In his introduction to this First Nations Classics publication of Smoke Encrypted Whispers, Uncle Tony Birch writes that reading this book is like witnessing Bruce Springsteen meet the Dreamtime. A really apt description. This is rock and roll verse situated in place and on the road. These poems provided me with a soulful soundtrack to growing up black in Brisbane, and I found a source of connection in these pages and between words. Uncle Tony, and I believe I'm one of the only people that is allowed to call Uncle Tony Birch uncle, and you might also be one of them as well. Says that Samuel is a poet who respects the cultural traditions of his family and nation, but never so in an essentialist, romanticised or narrow manner. Watson's people and country are equally at home by the water, in the bush, or behind the wheel of a purring engine menacing the late-night city. At this point, I'd like to acknowledge Samuel's incredible family and their history of activism, and acknowledge his lads, Samuel, Jesse, and Harry, whom this book is dedicated to. I've been really inspired by your poetry, and over the last decade of knowing you, I really look up to you a lot, and it's a pleasure to be in conversation with you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Yeah, it has been a real journey. We've
many in the audience have known you for a long time, but there'll be people here that don't know you personally. So I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about where you grew up and how you think that informed your work as a writer and a thinker.
Thank you. Well, yeah, country has always been important to me. I mean, wouldn't be here without country and the spirit of mob. To now be a classic author, I'm kind of lucky to be alive, really. At the moment, I didn't think I'd be here, but it's so important to be here as a storyteller, a factotum of this crazy world that I'm so glad that I don't own a television. So the madness of what goes on in the world doesn't really seep in. You can be bombarded by it. I just saw a lovely portrait of one of our former premiers, Joe Pearson, up in the gallery space. And growing up in Brisbane, on the south side, there was always like clear like knowing where you had to stand, where you had to Well, one thing I can say is that Dad was so proud of being connected to UQ as a young man. And although he didn't finish his degree, he achieved a lot while he was out here. The activism fight, the connecting with so many great comrades in the political movement. So I always considered that UQ was going to play some sort of role in my life. My sister Nicole, so proud of her. She started off in the Wagan Smith building there. And she's now a professor of law in Sydney and doing so well. And of course, university life isn't for all of us. I mean, I went to uni hoping I'd discover a script or a story. I really thought about third or fourth year. I always knew something would come in the way. UQ definitely has the respect of our people. It's a pivotal role, I suppose, in at times I feel really centered knowing that, well, as a kid, I remember trying to write the ultimate screenplay, trying to be the next Tarantino or Francis Ford Coppola, and of course, everyone will tell you when you're 21 that no one's going to give you a $90,000 iFlex camera and it's going to allow you to just go out and film.
So when did poetry start for you then?
Well, you and I are probably both part of the last generation of Indigenous writers who basically grew up without an internet. We're on the cusp of some really amazing things in storytelling. Everyone here has a smartphone, right? You have the opportunity in your hand to connect to your mind. If you're on Instagram, you can create the outlook for a good novel every day, maybe every minute. If you're mad enough, feel like, and we never had that.
Yeah, not that distraction, not that mode of expression. Yeah.
Spoken Cricket Whispers I was living in a flat overlooking the Brisbane River, just across there. We didn't even have a computer in the place. it was a real boy house. And, it was terrible. And yeah, my first 3 manuscripts were written on a brother typewriter. And yeah, I'm just so thankful for what we have now, for what and not to sound like cliche, but it's quite amazing what elders have done to make sure that, you know, things have gone ahead, that we can get ahead.
They paved the way for us so we can tell our stories, yeah. And you said to me that nobody has asked you about this book for a long time. And it has been now 20 years since Smoke Encrypted Whispers was first published. It won a string of awards, including the New South Wales Premier's Book of the Year and the Kenneth Slessor Prize for Poetry. I believe you were the first Indigenous writer to win the Kenneth Slessor Prize, but Auslit will have to back me up on that one. And this book inspired many other poets, including myself. I feel like this book has remained fresh. I'm always sharing this with new writers in my course, students of mine who find the poems absolutely irresistible. So with this enduring appeal, this book fits all the definitions that I can find of a classic. So from this to this new repackage with Jenna Lee's cover and the introduction by Uncle Tony Birch, what does it mean for you to have Smoke Encrypted Whispers republished and repackaged as part of the First Nations Classics series?
Oh, well, still feel like a bit of a fraud because I remember talking to Sue Abbey, my original editor, one day. She said, well, if you can come up with a manuscript in 4 weeks, I'll take it to a meeting. And so I can't believe UQP took it. I mean, I had no idea. Just thinking now, I had no real idea of what I just had a title, and I figured I'd just wing it, and I had a good energy. I was living in West End.
Living on the river?
Living in Boundary Street. It was still a West End where there were plenty of live readings on during the week, and avid reader wasn't such a huge well, yeah, there were just a lot of grassroots opportunities for for young writers, and yeah, I never figured I'd be a classic. Yet I thought I'd be maybe passed away and I'd get,
Well, you are a living classic in more ways than one. And yeah, I was thinking about Sue Abbey this morning actually too. I think this is her copy of the book that I might have stole from her. I was going to ask about connections with other writers. You know, you mentioned Brisbane. These days we have great capacity to link up with writers and like-minded people from around the world. Are there writers on the international stage that you've been drawn to and made contact with?
Oh yeah, there've been so many. My late father, we used to argue so much. Why do you do this writing thing, you know? Like, I want to be like you. And he's like, nah, it's a mug's game. You're always chasing your tail, son. And it was for the friendships. And of course, Dad, I was too scared to tell my dad that that's what I really wanted. I couldn't explain. I suppose he's from a different generation. But there are so many important friendships that you can create out of writing, and just working the arts, the kindred spirits, not just, and for us now, there are so many, both the Indigenous, right, but such a wider connection of storytellers from just so many backgrounds, and yeah, it's been wild.
Yeah, definitely. I'm in writing for the friendships too, for sure. I'm thinking of a recent collaboration with a Sami writer that was published in Fair Trade.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was Sigbjorn's Garden. I met Sigbjorn back in 2005. I was a guest of the Sami Parliament in Norway, and yeah, I had no idea what I was getting into. Going to Norway, it's just I had met a young Finnish woman, filmmaker, and I was pretty sure I was in love, and yeah, Norway was a big eye. I met this wonderful young poet, Sigbjorn, and people were saying, "Oh, watch out for me. He's dark, this one. He's very dark." And yeah, we just sort of kept connected, and when Anitoani said to me earlier this year, "Oh, if you could work with anyone, create a collaboration, who would you like to work with? And I said, well, Sigbion, because there have been so many times I've written his name in my journal and thought about an Osco grant or something from Arts Queensland. And of course, it takes, back in 2005, it took about 3 days to fly to
Yeah, long trip.
just to Oslo and then to Tromsø. So I could never again sort of work physically with Sigbion. So within a day, and it was just amazing. They're a great team at the Red Room. They provide such awesome opportunities for wordsmiths everywhere. So she linked us up, and yeah, we came out with some concepts. And I just happened to catch Sigbion when he was right in the middle of a incredibly, well, I think terrible because it's darkness and it's snow, but he's just at home. And then, matching my words to his concepts of a young deer herder working with her flock, and I was just thinking about the heat and the dust of the outback Queensland, and it really worked well.
Yeah, two opposite sides of the world, but a shared connection.
Yeah, well, Sami have such a mirroring culture to ours.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. And what's next for you?
What's next? Well, I've been working, just sat down and had really beautiful meeting with Ron Duffy and Yasmin Smith. And I was really thankful for that. So I've been calling myself a paranoid, really exploring ghosts, so new and select ghosts. Just really had to get it out of my system. All the ghost stories. Growing up as a kid, and so we've now compiled this collection. I mean, Spoken Whispers, we thank Madonna and Yasmin, the UQE family, for pushing ahead with these classics. I mean, I think, like, going to the Adelaide Festival with when Greg Bain ran the brand UQP, and the line for signings was out onto the street. And, I just completed a session with Omar Musa.
Yes, Omar, yes.
And my hand was always dropping off. All the signings and
Go Adelaide.
Penguin, our partner is Penguin, were there, and they were very happy with the way the book was being received, the poetry. And then I went to a function after that and met more people. It was really wonderful, but someone brought a dog to the party, and for 2 hours this dog humped my leg.
No.
Hump. And I was just sitting there half asleep, and Omar was like, lifts up the tablecloth, and see this dog going for it. Oh. He's like, mate, you are popular today. It's moments like that make you really thankful that you're in this writing game.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, well, how do I segue to that? We do look forward to your next book with UQP. And I was going to ask if you feel like reading from your book or anything that you would like to?
Yeah, I must apologise once again to Madonna and UQP because I'm really not, sometimes I'm just not a reliable writer. All of the poems that I really have loved putting out to audiences, I've always written, journal maybe an hour before I have to go on stage and perform at festivals. I suppose if you look at yourself as being a student all the time.
Constantly learning.
Yeah. And that's what's been for me. Thankfully, when I lived in the PA hospital for over a year, and having an iPhone allowed me to complete my assessments that when I was at Charles Darwin University in the Northern Territory. But I was really lucky because I was under an author, I'm terrible with names, but we shared a friendship with the late Andrew McGowan, and yeah, it's very important. It was good to be under his tutelage. No, Sam. Sorry? Yeah. Anyway, look, enough of me waffling on. White stucco dreaming. Sprinkled in the happy dark of my mind is early childhood and black humour. White stucco dreaming and a black Labrador. An orange and black pedal van called the Black Banana, with 20 black paws hanging out the back, blasting through the white stucco umbilical of a working class tribe. Front yards studded with old black tyres that became mutinous swans overnight, attacked with a keen knife and a bad white paint job. White stucco dreaming and snakes that morphed into nylon hoses at the terror of mum's scorn. Snakes whose cool venom we sprayed onto the white stucco, temporarily blushing it pink, amid an atmosphere of Saturday morning grass cuttings and the flirtatious melodies of ice cream trucks that echoed through little black mines and sent the Labrador insane. Chocolate handprints like Dreamtime fraud led across white stucco and mud cakes on the camp stove that just made Dad see black. No tree was ever safe from treehouse sprawl, and the police cars that crawled up and down the back streets, peering into our white stucco cocoon, wishing they were with us. Thank you.
Thank you. I always love hearing you read. So thank you so much for that. You paint a photograph that's timeless. We're moving towards the end of this yarn and the rest of the proceedings, which will include some mingling and further conversations, but I was wondering if you would like to say anything else and close us off. Maybe not.
But look, I'm just thankful for my team, thankful for my extended family, thankful for my wonderful family that's here. Yeah, look, writing is a journey that any of you out there who are authors, and look, it can always be a struggle. The best thing is not aim for Hollywood or, I mean, those dreams are good, but they're just how you find the opportunities and make them mold around you. I just encourage anyone who wants to pick up a pen and get their ideas down. Pick up a microphone, start your own podcast, jump on YouTube, get to your local library, tell them that you love them. Stay open for me on a weeknight, you know? Yeah.
Thank you so much. You are an absolute legend and an absolute classic. Thank you so much.